What an extraordinary time of year. The leaves are just beginning to turn, a beautiful tapestry of gold red. There's a change in the air, a different kind of energy brewing. We're talking about weather storms. It's something we all need to understand. A storm isn't just a bit of bad weather, it's a powerful, dramatic event created by nature. Think of it as the atmosphere letting off a huge amount of steam. It happens when areas of low and high pressure in the air have a big disagreement. This clash creates strong winds, heavy rain, thunder, lightning. They're a natural part of the climate system. So, where do these powerful storms actually come from? The answer lies far to our west, out in the vast, wild expanse of the North Atlantic Ocean. This incredible body of water acts as a giant birthing ground for much of Europe's most dramatic weather. It all begins with a simple scientific principle: the meeting of cold air and warm air. These two enormous air masses don't mix easily. Instead, they push and shove against each other along a boundary we call the jet stream. Imagine a fast-flowing river of air high up in the atmosphere, snaking its way around the planet from west to east. It is along these twists and turns in the jet stream that our storms are born. A little wobble or kink in this river of air can create an area of low pressure. This acts like a plug hole in the sky, causing the surrounding air to spiral inwards and upwards. As the warm, moist air rises, it cools and condenses, forming massive clouds. That condensation releases a tremendous amount of energy. This energy powers the storm, producing strong winds, torrential rain. This whole process is most active during the autumn and winter months. When we talk about the strength of these storms, we are really talking about their potential to cause disruption. We measure this strength primarily by wind speed. A typical windy day might see gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. However, the storms we are expecting can be far more powerful. We could see winds gusting to 60 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, or even 80 miles per hour, particularly in coastal areas and on high ground. In the most severe cases, gusts can exceed 100 miles per hour. They are strong enough to knock people off their feet, send garden furniture flying, break large branches from even the sturdiest old trees. These storms are also loaded with moisture from their long journey across the Atlantic. This means they can bring phenomenal amounts of rain in a very short period. We could see several inches of rain fall in just a few hours. This sudden deluge can easily overwhelm our natural and man-made drainage systems. Rivers that were flowing calmly can quickly become raging torrents, bursting their banks and flooding nearby fields and properties. Narrator, VO. So with this powerful weather on the horizon, Narrator, VO, what can we do to prepare? Narrator, VO. Let's start with our own patch, our homes and gardens. Narrator, VO. Anything that is loose or unsecured can become a projectile in a storm. Narrator, VO. Take a walk around your garden, move items into a secure shed or garage. Narrator, VO. Or weigh them down to stop them flying away. Narrator, VO. Next, have a look at the bigger picture. Narrator, VO. Check on your fences and gates. Secure loose panels with extra screws or stronger posts. Narrator, VO. Check loose roof tiles or slates. If you can, inspect or get a professional to look. Narrator, VO. Clear your gutters and drains so rainwater can flow away. Narrator, VO. Stake young trees, bring delicate potted plants indoors or place them against sheltered walls. Narrator, VO. Make sure greenhouse panes and doors are secured and anchored. Narrator, VO. Bring prized plants indoors and fasten shutters where you have them. Narrator, VO. Put together a simple storm kit, torches with spare batteries, a battery-powered radio. Narrator, VO. Make sure your phone is charged and have a portable power bank ready. Narrator, VO. Know where your main water stopcock and electrical master switch are. Narrator, VO. A little bit of preparation goes a very long way in giving you peace of mind. It's not just individuals who need to get ready. Our towns and cities have a huge role to play. Their planning can make a massive difference to how well a community weathers the event. One important job for local councils is to ensure that infrastructure is robust: bridges, drains, culverts. Clearing drains and culverts before heavy rain arrives can prevent streets turning into lakes. Councils also survey and prune trees to remove dead or overhanging branches that may fall in high winds. Proactive tree maintenance reduces the risk of blockages and damage during storms. Communication is also absolutely key. Local authorities work with meteorological offices and emergency services to monitor the approach. They use this information to issue clear and timely warnings to the public via social media, council websites, radio and alerts. They may advise people to avoid traveling or to secure their properties. In flood-prone areas, temporary defenses like sandbag barriers can be deployed. In some cases, evacuations may be organized for the most vulnerable locations. Emergency services prepare contingency plans and rostering. Extra staff may be put on standby. Specialized equipment, water rescue boats, chainsaws and power crews must be ready to deploy. Utility companies coordinate to restore power, gas and water as quickly and safely as possible. It is this network of coordinated planning and preparation that helps keep communities functioning and safe when nature unleashes its power. When a major storm finally makes landfall, our normal, everyday routines can be turned completely upside down. One of the first and most noticeable impacts is on travel. High winds can make driving extremely hazardous, especially for high-sided vehicles like lorries, caravans, which can be blown over. Authorities may have to close major bridges for safety reasons. Heavy rain can lead to flooding on roads, making many routes impassable. Train services are vulnerable. Fallen trees or damaged power lines can halt services. Flights can be delayed or cancelled due to dangerous crosswinds. If you rely on public transport, a storm can make plans impossible. Our homes can also feel the effects. The most common problem is a power cut. A falling tree can bring down overhead power cables, plunging neighborhoods into darkness. No internet, no heating if you have a modern boiler, no way to cook if you have an electric hob. A long power cut can be disruptive, especially for young children and vulnerable people. Shops may close early and outdoor markets will be cancelled. Schools may decide to close to keep pupils and staff safe. The storm forces us to pause, to stay indoors and to wait for the worst of the weather to pass. So we've talked about what storms are, where they come from and how they can affect us. First and foremost, stay informed. Keep a close eye on forecasts and pay attention to official warnings. Yellow, amber, red. When the storm hits, stay indoors. Avoid going outside unless absolutely necessary. Keep away from windows during the height of the storm. If you must drive, slow down and keep a much larger gap from the vehicle in front. Never attempt to drive through floodwater. You simply don't know how deep it is or what hazards lie beneath. Look out for neighbors, especially the elderly or vulnerable. A knock or a phone call can make a huge difference. Community kindness helps recovery after the worst has passed. In summary, these Atlantic storms are born from the clash of cold and warm air, travel thousands of miles to reach us and can bring high winds, heavy rain and coastal flooding. But by taking simple, sensible precautions, securing homes, preparing a storm kit and avoiding unnecessary travel, we can face them safely. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay sensible. The storm will pass and the calm will return. Checklist. Stay indoors, vertical bar. Check on neighbors, vertical bar. Avoid travel, vertical bar. Charge your phone.